Hi everyone, my name is Mark. I'm a teacher, a father, a husband, and passionate about financial literacy. So, what is financial literacy? Financial literacy is the ability to use your knowledge and skills to manage your money effectively for the rest of your life. In your lifetime, you'll use money for many things to spend on goods, such as going grocery shopping or buying things that you want, for services, such as going to the dentist or doctor to get annual checkups, for budgeting, so that you're not buried in debt with loans and credit cards and that you have more than enough money to survive, to fund for your education. So if you're going for a undergraduate degree, graduate degree, or professional degree, or to improve your professional skills to increase your pay scale, to pay bills and taxes. So the monthly bills that you get for electricity, internet, and phone, and then the annual income taxes that you do every year. To save for big purchases such as owning a car or a home, and to invest in your retirement account so that you're saving money, so that your money outgrows you for the rest of your life and you can fund your lifetime. If you want to learn more about how to manage your money, a skill that you will need for the rest of your life, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below. With that said, there are 3 reasons why I'm starting this channel. First, to educate different audiences about money. Second, to share with my 2 boys so they know how to manage their money at different stages of their lives. And third, to fight poverty and overcome financial hardship. These videos are designed to be timeless, so anyone watching this years from now will still find them useful. Let's talk about the first point, to educate different audiences about money. People think about money differently depending on what stage they are in their life, whether you're a child, a teenager, a young adult, an adult working full-time, or a retired adult. I plan to make videos to help different audiences, so if you have a financial question, please make sure you comment below. There's also a need to educate young people about financial literacy. In the year 2020, only 21 states require students to take one financial literacy course to graduate high school. And 5 states have no personal finance standard or requirement to graduate from a public high school. So that means you can go all your schooling career and not learn a single thing about money. And that's something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, I live in California and it's one of those 5 states that don't require you to learn anything about finances. And do you really think that taking one class about how to manage your money will teach you how to manage your personal finance for the rest of your life? That is, how to budget, how to save, how to spend, how to invest, how to own, and how to retire? I don't think so. It may help you get started, that one class that you took when you were a junior or senior in high school, but there's still a lot to learn. So I want to make sure that I'm providing you guys that services so that in the event that you ever have a question about anything, you can come here and watch and learn more about personal finance. The second purpose for this channel is because of my 2 boys. I have one that's 3 years old and the other is 6 months old. As they get older, I know they will have many questions about money. I spent a lot of time reading these books behind me in my mid-20s and early 30s. I wish I learned more about this at a much younger age. I also just want to make sure that they have financial wisdom should something ever happen to me. These videos will be passed on to them and they themselves can pass it on to future generations. Last but not least, the final and most important reason for this channel is to fight poverty and overcome financial hardship. As you can see from this chart, the middle class is shrinking. In 1971, 61% of the American population was middle class. 44 years later, we are now down to 50%. And you can see that the lowest bracket income household is also increasing from 16% in 1971 to 20%. And if you look at this poverty cycle, it's really difficult for people to get out of poverty. People are born into poverty, then they grow up in poverty and are significantly disadvantaged in education and skills, so they therefore struggle to get a job. and then as they struggle to get a job, they fail to escape the poverty cycle, and they themselves might have a family and be stuck in poverty again, and this cycle repeats over and over. Another reason why Americans are struggling is because of student debt. Student loans are the fastest growing segment of US household debt, seeing almost 157% growth since the Great Recession. If you take a look at this graph, mortgages and credit cards haven't really grown much, auto loans a little bit, but nothing compares to student loans. It's really crushing Americans' ability to grow and succeed. And in this graph, there's a disconnect between productivity and typical workers' compensation. So this graph charts from 1948 to 2013. You can see that the amount of work you put in, productivity, and the amount of money you get paid is almost in line with each other from 1948 all the way to around 1970s. But after the 1970s, there seems to be a large separation. Americans are working harder and still getting the same amount of pay. So there's wage stagnation. So if you compare people from before the 1970s to people now in 2013, based on this data, we're working twice as hard to get the same amount of pay. And if we look at home ownership, it's getting worse for future generations. Baby boomers and the silent generation have a 77% home ownership rate. Gen Xers dropped down by 10%, and then millennials have dropped down by 24%. I can only imagine what it will look like for Generation Z and Generation Alpha. People are owning less homes because of the student debt that is rising and the amount of pay that we're getting. Lastly, here are some headlines for the working class today, mostly millennials. Millennials face a steep climb to home ownership. More millennials are living at home than at any other time this century. Meet the average American millennial who has an $8,000 net worth, is delaying life milestones because of student loan debt, and still relies on parents for money. These headlines are not positive. It's really difficult to succeed when you have all these challenges against you, trying to start a new life. It all makes sense. It's not their fault. The millennials were born just at the wrong time, having endured both the Great Recession and COVID-19 pandemic during their early adulthoods. And it's going to be worse for future generations as more and more people struggle to make a living, pay off their debts, get married, and buy a home. Fortunately, I was able to avoid many of these millennial challenges by just doing a lot of smart things with money. So if you like what you saw today and you want to learn about how to improve your personal finance and self-improvement, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and remember, think and grow exponentially. Take care.